All right, welcome to this episode of the HyperFast Wealth Show. Today we are going to give you an overview of what we've seen during the first half of the DC market. Been a crazy first 6 months, and we're gonna go over our current projects, pipelines, and what we think's in store for the second half of the year and beyond. So stay tuned. All right, Sunil, we are back to give the viewers an update on the DC market. What a year so far.
Give you a quick update. All good. That's it. That's my update.
All right, show's over. Everything's good. DC market is chugging along, right?
Exactly. No, I think Q1 was very strong. Q2, obviously, we had coronavirus, so that everything got a little off kilter. But good news is our business development really wasn't affected that much. There was some effect for sure, maybe a 10 or 20% effect, but in general, we were still building, still getting permits. We closed, I think, one or two deals within that Q2, so the banks were still lending. Our investors still came to the table. I think Q3, which we're about to enter, is going to be rebuilding, where the world is getting back on its feet. We're probably ahead of that cycle because we're already back on our feet, I feel. Then Q4, I think, is just going to be crazy. It's going to be phenomenal. So we have a number of projects. I think whatever the number is, eight projects, I believe, or 7 projects in the pipeline. And we have actually about 5 more we're looking at right now as we speak that we don't have under contract, but we're actually evaluating. So I feel very, very good about how 2020 is going to end up here.
Yeah, and that, just to reiterate, or in case people heard Sunil say, 10 to 20% effect, you're not talking about prices.
No.
So yeah, prices have been strong in the D&B market. We're seeing bidding wars. We are seeing very little inventory, strong buyer demand.
Right.
So, showings and open houses, those kind of slowed down the second half of March and April, but things are opening up. That's happening more, but our real estate team was doing a lot of virtual meetings, virtual showings. We are actually having our best month ever. We've got 101, I think, deals set to close in June. July's looking just the same. So if you think about it, we kind of had this effect where overall number of transactions went down,
right,
but the ratio of buyers to sellers stayed the same or got even better for sellers, which as developers, we kind of like that. We're seeing really good numbers on the sales. I think it's only going to accelerate. All of these projects we're going to go through are really geared towards buyers that are at an income level where their jobs are not being affected like a lot of others, people in the countries are, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when I was saying 10 or 20%, I mean of our overall business. If you look at a restaurant, it was pretty much 100% affected. They were closed,
right.
Or maybe they had takeout, but they were 95% affected. So yeah, we had a couple things. We had one project where we were trying to get through a BZA hearing, and that got postponed 3 or 4 months. So that slowed that project down a little bit. Even although we can talk about it, we actually did some workarounds where we're still out there building on that one. I was just at that project today. So yeah, I think there was some effects on our business, but overall, I mean, we were just chugging along. So happy to be in the business I am.
Yeah, so it's been definitely some challenges. I think a couple of the areas that got harder for developers are raising money got a little bit more difficult because people were nervous. There was this rush to cash. Some people some people were scared, so they were investing less. Other people thought, well, there's going to be a great opportunity in the stock market because it's down so much. I'll put money there. And some of the hard money lending dried up. We don't really use a lot of that, or if any. So I think that kind of activity really points towards an actual increase in the performance we're expecting out of our projects, because if you think about it, it's harder for a developer now to launch a project, to close on it. So I think that's going to only make the inventory problem even worse.
The supply will come down,
6
right.
months to 12 months out, because less rehabs and renos and condos and new projects are going to take place, because some investors aren't able to overcome the challenges to launch new projects.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you mentioned, a lot of developers are dependent on hard money. We're not, and that definitely was very hard to get. Our permitting process, we've noticed is actually sped up quite a bit, because there's less projects going into the DCRA, and you're just getting to review so much quicker. So yeah, I definitely agree. You're going to see 6 months down the road a supply shrinkage, and that's when a lot of our projects are going to deliver. So we're expecting, hopefully an outperformance in terms of the sales.
Yeah, so we're excited about the market, the direction it's going, how we're positioned, and our projects. So let's give them a rundown now.
All right.
Alton's. That's two single-family homes up in the very luxury
area of DC.
Area of DC. That's site work, digging is going on right now as we speak.
Yeah, the number looks small as two, but it's actually two very large single-family homes.
These are like $3 million homes.
Right, so our outsale's almost $6 million, which is equal to some of these other projects. But yeah, that project's moving along very well. I was just at the site, I think yesterday, and we're starting to dig the basements out. We'll put the foundations in. So yeah, it's moving along very well.
And that'll be delivering probably end of the year. Then Capitol is 4 units over. It's on Capitol Avenue.
Ivy City area.
Close to Brook.
Close to Brookland.
Close to Brookland.
There's that big Nike store over there.
Nike stores near there.
Yeah, it's an up and coming area.
That one we had to revise the permits, but we're through that now, correct?
Through that, they're out there doing work today. We should have the foundation done in that 30 days or less. We'll have a foundation. We'll start framing that one, so it's moving along well.
So that's probably another end of year delivery. Randolph is 3 units over in kind of near our Columbia project.
Very close to Columbia,
right?
Columbia Heights area, really nice area. That one, we had a little bit of issues with permits, as you know, and we're pretty much through that. I think in 30 days we'll be back on construction. We've already done about a month and a half to 2 months of construction on it, so we only have, let's say, 4 months left once we get through this little permit issue we had, but we're very close to resolving that.
All right, then Columbia, right around the corner from that area is our Columbia project. This is like one of our favorites. 11 beautiful units, and this one we've got a little bit more to talk about, I guess, because the BZA process. But it's going to be 11 units. We've started on one of the towers, if you will, even though they're just row homes.
Right.
Which will be 2 units. The other towers row homes will be 3 units each, and that we have to go through the BZA process.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned. This is one project that we had our BZA hearing scheduled for May, but because they just basically stopped them, they didn't go virtual, they just stopped them. So we're looking at probably an August or September hearing now. But the nice thing we were able to do there is, like you said, one of the 4 doesn't require BZA, so they're out there. That's the one I was just at before I came here. They've already got the excavation done. We'll have the foundation done in 30 days or less, and we'll be framing out there. So that one will deliver probably Q3, probably Q4. But the nice thing we were able to do is get underpinning only permits for the others. So we're going to be doing about 2 or 3 months worth of work while we're waiting for the BZA. And we've also already applied for those permits because we're very confident on the BZA. So as soon as we get that decision, then we can pretty much just probably have permits in hand within maybe 30-ish days after that hearing.
For the people that don't know, BZA in DC is the Board of Zoning Appeal, correct?
Yeah.
So, and we're getting them to let us go from 2 units per row home to 3. Right. This project has previously been approved for this, so we don't see any issues. We just have to do it again because the previous approval expired under the
previous owners, right?
Previous owners. So it's going to be a great project. We're excited about it. It's it'll start delivering into the year and into next year, and it's going to be an awesome one.
Right.
Benning. This is 9 units over on Benning Road, which is kind of on the edge of that Carver-Langston area.
Right. H Street corridor.
Kingman Park is to the south, and H Street corridor is a couple blocks to, it would be the west of this location. The trolley goes right by it.
Right in front of it.
So this is a rapidly transitioning area. The Hetchinger Mall project is near this.
Very close, yeah.
This one, and we're in the pretty close to the end of the permitting stage on this one. I think.
Actually, the next two are very similar because they're both in the same market, and that market I really love that market because we see a lot of growth potential in the next 5 years because the Hetchinger Mall project is right there. There's another huge project right next door to that project, and these buildings, everywhere you look, these kind of buildings are being redone. So, yeah, Benning, we're kind of I'd say right in the middle of the permitting project, kind of maybe 50%, maybe 40% of the way through it, and that's going to be 9 units, and the 17th is essentially walking distance from that one, and it's probably 80% through the permitting process. So we're going to be starting on that one hopefully relatively soon. And Benning, we're doing the same thing where we're applying for an underpinning only permit. So even though the permit may take 4 or 5 months, we will have an underpinning permit maybe in 30 days, and then we can do that work while we're waiting for the full permits.
So then on those two, we're hoping to really be fully approved sometime in Q3, start work, deliver, first half of next year or sooner.
Yep.
And what else is left? Chesapeake, we are closing on this one any day now. Probably by the time this airs, it probably will have closed, so you might have missed out on the opportunity to invest in it. But if you want to see if we still got spots for that one or some other project that we have under contract, shoot us a note. We'd love to connect on that. But this is going to be 10 units, right? One, not even really one block. Like it's like half a street off of Wisconsin Ave, right? So you're next to a Whole Foods, you're next to a park. If you're a swimmer, there's the 50-meter pools is there at Wilson.
Yeah.
School's pretty close. Tons of bars,
Metro's
shops,
right
all
there.
that.
Yeah. It's like, it's a great spot. It's actually another thing I like about it. It's kind of high up, so the penthouse and the rooftop decks are going to have incredible views of the city because it kind of sits up on a hill a little bit. So, it's just it's actually one of my favorite projects of all our projects just because of the location and the luxury type of units we're going to be able to deliver there.
Yeah, they're going to be great 2-bedroom units. Penthouses will be amazing. Last one, this one is under contract, and this could be a rental for us, or it could be a condo. We're still kind of looking at it, right? 10 units on the Georgia Ave corridor.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, if anybody who knows DC knows that Georgia Ave corridor is booming. Seems like every building, every block is getting redone, and so we're excited to have a 10-unit building there. And that's one we talked about we may hold because we just feel that there's going to be so much appreciation of the building in the next 5 to 10 years that it'd be perfect for a rental.
Yeah. So overall, we've got an amazing portfolio here. This is like almost 70 units here. Plus, we're looking at like 4 or 5 other projects that we're excited about. And look, I think it's been a busy year. It's seems like every week the news cycle changes, but we've been focused on what we do best, on deals, raising money for them, selling them as we build them, getting through the permitting process. And I think anything in life, if you kind of stay in your lane, stay focused on the things you can control, good shit happens, right? Good things happen.
We're always looking for good stuff, right? And I think, like I said, when we started, I think 2020 is going to really be a great year. We've had this kind of Q2 hiccup here with the pandemic, but I think we're going to look back on it and not even really remember it as a big deal at all. So I'm very excited about 2020.
Yeah, I am too, and really I think with the slowdown in project development that other people have had because of the challenges, I think we're going to be well positioned as these projects come online, and we're going to expect quick sales, good prices, amazing returns for our investors, and delivering on what we told them we would be able to do. So I'm excited. I know Sunil's excited. So stay tuned. Check out our next episode and stay tuned for some more updates. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you want to see more videos like this, click right here. And if you want 10 tips from Sunil and I on how we've built wealth through real estate, click right here to download them instantly. And if you're new to the channel, click below to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out. And let me know in the comments what you think about the videos. I read them weekly and I pick winners at random. And I give out stuff like hats, shirts, coaching calls with me, and tickets to some of our events. I'll see you next time.